I'm one of the few people in this village who's actually been inside the pyramids. And we saw the Sphinx, of course, which was this great big lion made out of stone. And they obviously built it because it was a big rock, and they cut it to look like a lion.
Yeah.
In Egyptian times, 3,500 years ago, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So we had a very interesting time there. My father was there, and my mother was there. My eldest brother had gone back earlier to England because he was a single boy and he could get back earlier, but he was taken back with somebody else who acted as his guardian as he went down the Nile. He did the same thing. And Russell and I were stuck there, and eventually we were told, funny enough, my uncle turned up on Gazera Island. My mother's brother turned up, Uncle John, was my godfather. He had heard, because he was in the SOE, he was in the Special Operations Executive, which was a MI5 during the war. And he had, his job was to, in England, was to monitor and serve people's spies going out from England to France in the war. And it was part of the Special Operations Executive to spy on France and Germany and everything before the invasion. And this is, of course, after the invasion, because the war was ended by that time. We came back, but the Japanese war was still going on. And anyway, my uncle turned up. My mother was absolutely thrilled. She suddenly saw him turned up on the ship. And I said hello. I didn't know who he was because he didn't much eat me, but he was my godfather. Actually. Anyway, then a few days later, I think he turned up to tell them that we were actually going back to England. I think. I don't know. He knew. A few days later, we were told that we were going to fly back to England on the Sunderland flying boat, which is a 4-engined anti-submarine flying boat, and it did carry a few people, a few seats, and it had 4 engines, and it took off on the Nile, because the Nile further south of Cairo, just further south towards Alexandria, and it took off. We got on board. We had to go out in a motorboat to it, and we stepped on board. Very exciting for me because I've never seen a Sunderland flying boat, let alone carrying one, a big one. And we flew from Cairo across the Mediterranean to Syracuse in Italy, where we landed in Syracuse harbour, where we spent, I can't remember, an hour, 2 hours, while it was refueling, basically. And from Syracuse in Italy, it took off, and we said goodbye to the Mediterranean. I mean, I was sitting in this seat, tied up, all plastic seats and things. We took off and we flew northwards over France. So at low level, only 500,000 feet up, because it was heavily loaded. It didn't want to go any higher, so no point. Except it had nowhere to land because it was on land, you see. That was the danger. It flew from Syracuse to Poole Harbour and landed in Poole Harbour in the evening. And it took off very early in the morning.
How long did it take? A matter of hours, was it?
Oh, it was a matter of 5 or 6 hour flight, I think it was. It would have been, because we only went at about 150 miles an hour.